Hey guys, what's going on? Dream Reaver 23 here with a long-awaited and long-overdue episode of Minecraft. Does that make sense?
I think so. I'd say so. I think it makes sense.
Oh yeah, you were in creative mode. So I am joined today in the chat by Steve, and actually over one way, either that way or that way. I'm not sure yet, because we got kind of a new format. But I am joined here today by Steve.
Hey, Shep.
So yeah, and you can see his smiling pretty face over there on the side.
You can.
I'm trying to get a different format
So
laying out and everything like that, so hope you guys enjoy this. We were going to be trying to get Steve's video from in-game as well, but we kept having problems with everything, and it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So.
My ass, not his. He didn't have any pain. I just,
No pain. It was nice, actually. It was kind of soothing. But yeah, so we were trying to get that, and we will still try to get that stuff figured out, what we need to do on there, and, we'll get it figured out over time, because I really do think it'd be pretty cool. But we are here today to bring you a new tutorial series. We are currently in 1.4.7. This is on a test server that we have, and so that we don't screw up the real world or the main world whenever we blow stuff up.
Don't screw up.
So this is 1.4.7. We do have Industrial Craft, Buildcraft, Red Power, GregTech, and
GregTech. That's right.
Is that all of them that we have on here?
I think so.
Advanced controls or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, so welcome. We also have another guest in the chat here with us, and so I'd like for all of y'all to say hello to Chris.
Howdy, everyone.
Actually, I guess it's not hello, or say hello again, or welcome back. It's been a while.
You telling me?
So, where you been? What you been doing?
Between work and a crappy computer, haven't been on here too much.
Well, your mic is sounding a lot better than it used to whenever you were on here, so.
It's true. It's true.
Up the microphone and downgraded computer.
I'm gonna get a better mic and a shittier computer. We're gonna see what happens.
It's gonna
Isn't that
sound
what you're
better,
supposed to?
but
I wanted to sound better.
Well, that's true.
I had to sell my computer for this microphone. Is it worth it?
I had to sell the RAM out of my computer.
That's terrible. So, welcome back. He's not in game with us, but he is just kind of chilling in the chat, and yep. So, Steve and I have been working, last time we did this, we have done a couple of these episodes. One, we did a nuclear reactor test radius explosion video.
And we like to, I guess, sort of, kind of, oh, hey, is this George? George. Hey, George.
George, security guard.
I was reading some comments on our nuclear test radius explosion video stuff. People were like,
did you say that all
this
slow?
Is stupid. No, people were like, this is stupid. This isn't real. Things don't explode like that. There's a specific way things explode. I don't understand. You guys are stupid. I'd like to apologize for those commenters.
That's probably how they
I guess
sound.
more so for the fact that we didn't, really look into the explosion radius. You're just blowing things up.
It was just fun to blow stuff up, and that's how it should be.
It's always fun to blow stuff up.
So.
All right, so we did have another video that we did, which was just the nuclear reactors video. It was just like, it wasn't the explosions. We were trying to make efficient nuclear reactors, and so
we were.
But I think that was what, 1.2 or something like that, 1.1.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. And so with 1.4.7, Industrial Craft, GregTech, a lot of these ones, they've really updated a lot of stuff that you can do with them. And I know a lot of people on the server are still really hesitant to try to build any nuclear reactors because they don't want to blow up stuff on the server. They don't want to lose all their stuff, and they don't want to destroy anybody else's stuff, which is kind of a big thing, and I like being right here close to you, Steve.
Really I noticed. Really like face to face.
Face to face!
You were thinking the exact same thing I was. Exactly.
We've been together for a while on these things. All right, so we've done a couple things, and we want to talk about a few of them. But firstly, I want to say that I really do love GregTech. It's got a lot of stuff, and it does make it a lot more complicated. A lot of people on the server at first did not like GregTech. And but one of the cool things that it has this block that's called a player detector. And if you haven't seen this, check it out on GregTech's wiki. I'll put a link for that down in the description below. But with the player detector, basically it detects either, you can have it 3 different settings. It detects only you, detects other players, not you but other players, and detects all players. I have it right now to where on all of these it detects all players, and it detects out 16 blocks and sends a redstone signal whenever another player or whatever you have it set up as comes in 16 blocks of it. So once it detects it, and that redstone signal can be used to open doors without having to have the little pistons or the what are they called? Gates. Get out of the way,
yeah.
Steve. I want the door to close.
Fine. Gosh. Idiot.
Yeah. So, pretty cool. I guess we will have to stand in it so we can show off these things. But so it's got a lot of cool stuff with GregTech. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Definitely, if you're especially on single player, it's a really cool mod to check out. It does add complication to it, but it's still pretty badass. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So basically, we're gonna do a quick overview from up top right here. I know some people are gonna be like, "Get on with the show. We want to see it." Screw you, huh? Yeah. We're doing this on it's on our own time frame. Ain't that right, Steve? I'm probably looking the wrong way. But that's cool.
I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago.
So we have a couple different series, and the ones that are up top are more expensive versions. And so we'll get to those. I don't know if it's going to be on this video or the next one, but we will try to get into everything. So let's go ahead and start off. And we don't have a setup of showing like the expense of it, but I can tell you the resources needed with each of these to make this setup. And so we'll try to cover that as well. Now this first one, and Steve is really the man when it comes to this. I kept trying to get the cooldowns and everything like that. All of these that we have built on here are Mark 1s, correct, Steve?
Full cycle, and they are no wait time for the whatchamacallit.
Also, another thing that we've tried to do with...
They have no cooldown. That's it. You can just keep going forever.
Also, what we've tried to do on here is to make it to where there's no excess resources. With some of the things like the LZH condensator, you have to like recharge them and you have to do all this stuff. These are no maintenance. So these are ones that you can literally put your stuff in there, set it up in this design, and forget it. It'll go through. Once the uranium is depleted, obviously you have to replace the uranium, but there's no other maintenance that's required for them, which makes these beautiful. And a lot of people aren't putting out videos like this because it's really hard to figure this shit out, honestly. Took us for, like, literally, we started doing this yesterday.
Yeah, pretty much, actually. Late last night around study time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get started showing these off. And I think they're pretty great. Like, I'm excited about them. But this is a zero chamber.
Want me to take the floor?
Yeah, go ahead. If you want to go ahead and take the floor on here, I will open this up so they can see it.
Okay. Okay, so basically, after spending a lot of time trying to figure out these components, because it makes it so much more, but so much less complicated, because what you knew about nuclear reactors, pretty much just throw that out. The only thing that's the same is the uranium cells, when they're next to each other, they give off more energy and more heat, and the coolant cells still absorb heat. That's pretty much the only thing that's the same. As you can see, actually, Dream, if you want to get out of there, notice how there's no water and it's just surrounded by blocks. No big deal anymore. Water doesn't do anything. There's no point in having it surrounded by water. So
also
no more ugly reactor setups with water pouring all over it.
Also should mention that there's no more putting blocks of ice or water into the reactors.
Right. No more ice buckets or water in the reactor. It's a lot more. It's actually based on a lot of real physics. So
that's a lot nicer then.
Oh yeah, they did a good job. So basically, this first reactor here, if you want to look at their Dream, takes 2 uranium cells, outputs I think it's 20 EU per tick for 4 million EU for the whole what do we call it, cycle? Yeah. The total EU output. There we go. Takes 6 coolant cells, 6 10K coolant cells, and 4 component heat vents. Now, after a short amount of time realizing that this setup can be slimmed down a little bit, get rid of the water cells, and you can get rid of the component heat vents. And Dream, if you look over here, behind you to your left, you can just put in these heat vents because they actually are to make component heat vents, you need heat vents anyway, so you're actually saving a bit of resources this way, and you still get the same output. So you actually, if I'm not mistaken, could probably put more in here than I have in there right now. I just thought about that right now.
I'm not sure because of the stacking measures, but it's something we could try. I did want to point out with this one right here, with the first one we were showing you, this design, the resources needed to create all the stuff inside of here for the component heat vents and everything like that, you will need a total of 100 copper ingots, 48 tin ingots, 64 iron ingots, 2 uranium ingots, 7 rubber, 8 redstone dust, 2 glowstone dust, and 2 lapis lazuli.
All right, you want to come in here really quick and look at this, Dream? This is actually just as safe as what I was showing you guys a second ago.
What's the output on this one?
Give me a second.
Do you have the EU detector?
No. Actually, you guys are going to want to set it up like that. There we go. That's 40 EU per tick, and it's 8 million EU total. So
nice. Which one was this? How much was this one? So that's twice as much
20,
as this one.
This is actually more expensive, so you don't even want to bother with the one that we just showed you. I'm sorry.
Okay, so that first one is gone. Look, bam, it's out of here.
All
but
right.
this one, so this one is using heat vents. And
just heat vents. These are pretty much the lowest component that you can come up with.
Heat vents. So I'm going to make this one real quick just to see what the total cost would be. Boom, boom, boom.
100 copper ingots, 6 tin ingots, 80 iron ingots, 4 uranium ingots, 7 rubber, 8 redstone dust, 2 glowstone, 2 lapis lazuli.
And
so cheaper, definitely.
The total time to run for that for the 8 million EU per tick, or the 8 million EU, is 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds. But that's a lot of EU.
8 million EU.
8 million EU.
And all the reactors we have, like we said, are full cycles, so you don't ever have to bother with them, and it's just a 2 hour, 46-minute cycle for all of them.
Yep. Did you want to show them one above?
Yeah, let's go up to here. All right, so this is way more expensive. It's for when you've actually got just one chamber, but you've already got the materials to make all of this stuff here. This puts out, as you can see, it's 24 million EU, 120 EU per tick, and it's just this one, no extra chambers setup.
Yeah, so this is pretty high efficiency. It's a 2.46 efficiency on this one, so it's a lot better than the one down below. I think the one down below was, even the one that you showed on the side, is.
Where do you see the efficiency?
2.
Oh, 2 of 2.
Right, I think 6 is the highest efficiency. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
You guys showed that there was another side. I was looking at another side whenever I was looking through the wiki. So this setup right here is, it's going to be a lot more expensive. This one, from looking onto my resource right here, is 308 copper ingots, 24 tin ingots, 108 iron ingots, 16 gold ingots, 8 uranium ingots, 7 copper, redstone dust 8, 2 glowstone dust, and 2 lapis lazuli. It is a bit more expensive, and I'm assuming that a lot of you will do a lot of testing on this in a single-player world, and creative, just so you can make sure that you get the efficiency out. And that's what I like to do. I like to create it in single player, just creative, just to test it, and then bring it over into the server world so that you don't blow your shit up.
So, of course, we're actually going to link you guys the tool we use to create these reactors. So,
and we're going to have them in the order
URLs for these reactors.
So we'll have them in the order that we put them in, down in the description below. So that way you guys can have this and just save it as a bookmark, so you can always go back to it and look at it again. These are the most efficient that we've found, but these are by far not the most efficient out there. I'm sure people can find ones that are still Mark 1s and be.
This was just a couple hours of us messing around with this tool, not even really know what we were doing until the end of today, until the beginning of today. So
yeah. All right, so this next one here is the first one that adds a chamber to it, correct?
Yes, and this one, while it could probably be even more efficient, this here is fairly cheap. It has 8 million EU per tick, 8 million EU output, not per tick. That would be awesome though. 40 EU per tick. I don't even know where you'd put that all. 40 EU per tick. It uses all of these materials here, as you can see. I'm not going to go through and name them all, but I should explain what they each do. The component heat exchanger, if there is anything next to it, it moves heat around to balance out the heat. So anything around it, for instance, the uranium cells, since they only give off heat and they don't take heat, it gives off heat and it tries to balance it between the two objects it's touching, which are the two 10K coolant cells. And then the component heat vent pulls from whatever it's touching 4 heat for every component it's touching. So since this one over here on the left bottom is touching 2 coolant cells, it's pulling 4 from each, and therefore taking out 8. So
and it can disperse those into other 2 things.
Yes. Well, no. The component heat vents, they just give out the heat. The heat exchangers move the heat. So.
Oh, right. That's where it keeps going through and getting crazy. Was that whenever I was looking, because I keep both those on the screen, so I'd have like the component heat or the heat vents and the heat exchangers like right above each other, and just like, okay, so the core reactor can pull 72, but doesn't disperse to anything and go through and pull. It gets ridiculous.
It does get complicated. However, I think that I might actually be able to make this slightly more efficient now, knowing what I know. So let me see if.
Do you want to do that right now, or do you want to do it later and make another video showing the more efficient ones?
Yeah, let's do that later, because I think I'm wrong. Anyway.
So this is an overview of this one, and we'll have a link for this one down in the one below. This will be the third one we show. Third link if you want to see that down below, and that'll bring you to where you can mess around with it as well.
Yes. And of course, if you don't feel like downloading the tool, you guys can always just pause the video and look at these, like any other person will do.
Now this one is the more costly one, right?
Yes, this is more costly. It's actually, you know what? Before we show them this one, come down here. I mean, I know you've already pretty opened it, but this reactor right here can be produced exactly the same. Come back here. Instead of using the double uranium cells, you can just use single ones, and it's slightly more efficient because you don't need the copper plate to make, because you need a dense copper plate to combine them into dual uranium cells.
Gotcha.
So that's actually more efficient right there.
Okay. What's the output on this one?
Slightly. It's same as the other one, exactly the same. It's just you don't need to do the double uranium cell thing.
Oh, I got you, because it's okay. That does make it a lot more efficient cost-wise, especially if you're doing this on a legit play server. That would be a huge cost difference. Okay,
so 26,000 EU total, 130 EU per tick. This one is just a slightly upgraded version of the zero chamber one.
I'm really surprised you were able to get the quad uranium cells to balance that heat out. I put down a quad uranium cell and I was trying to figure it out.
The overclocked heat vent right here that you see, it's surrounded by 4 overclocked heat vents, and what those each do,
those can dissipate 20 and pull 36 from the reactor.
Right, so they're constantly pulling more than they can dissipate. So if I were to get rid of these component heat vents, then they would not be cooled as well as they should be.
And the component heat vent can pull 4 from each.
Yes, so they're pulling the extra heat that wasn't being pulled before.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've been studying it too. I was like, those were the ones I was mainly messing with, was the overclocked heat vents, the advanced heat vents, and then the component heat vents as well.
If you guys will notice, though, this right here, I'm going to show you the pattern up there at the top, the top 9x9, or top 3x3, excuse me. Mm-hmm. That is a repeating pattern that you can use pretty much anywhere.
That is a nice pattern.
So, yes, very. Okay, so there's that one.
Good stuff. 26 million EU total and 130 EU per tick, and it's a full cycle. Like we said earlier, guys, I know we keep saying it. These are all full cycle. They're all completely safe. Set yours up like this, and just whenever it completes a cycle in 2 hours and 46 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Good to go.
All right, now this one is actually it's a downgrade from the one up on the top of the other one, but it's an upgrade from the one under it. Like I said, I made the bottom ones to be a little bit less, not necessarily. They're not necessarily less efficient, but they're less costly. I think. But this one, as you can see, 16 million EU, 80 EU per tick, dual uranium cells, 10K coolant cells, and it just cools it like that. However, most of the what now? Most of the reactors that the reactors on top that you see up there, they don't use any coolant cells, or shouldn't, I should say.
Right.
So it is possible to not have to use these coolant cells. But a little thing you should know is that I'm going to pull There we go. So you could make this exact same reactor out of this, the 30K coolant cells, and you could just put all these as 30K coolant cells, but that's actually a waste. If you can get it to be a full cycle reactor, then you can replace any coolant cells you have in there with 10K coolant cells.
Which are a lot
because
cheaper
it's
to make.
pulling the heat exactly as fast as it's absorbing the heat. So that's the catch.
And
with
the
that.
coolant cells, if I remember correctly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it might be, the coolant cells, as long as they don't get destroyed, they will back.
Release heat.
Well, no,
But
you don't have to replace them, right?
Only if you have any kind of heat vent in there. If you don't have it touching a heat vent from now on, it does not release heat.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's one of the big changes. But the coolant cells, as long as they don't get destroyed, they will recharge themselves, correct?
Yes, but they have to be like I said, they have to be touching a component heat vent or some sort of heat vent.
Right.
Otherwise, they won't release the heat at all. All right.
So that is that one. That one's 16 million EU and 90 EU per tick. Another safe one. And this is the 2 chambers. So that's the main reactor and 2 chambers.
Yes. Now this is 36 million EU compared to, what was that? That was 26 million? No, 16. Okay, so that's a 20 million EU increase with only, well, I mean, I shouldn't say only. It's got 3 quad cells in there, and yeah, this was a fun pattern to get to work. A bunch of overclocked heat vents, which these overclocked heat vents, I'd say if you're going to go for a high quality reactor, go with overclocked heat vents. Just keep building up those and component heat vents because they are interchangeable. This layout, the little 3x3 up in the top corner, is what you're going to see in the next 3 reactors. That's pretty much all we've used from this point on.
Yeah. And this is a lot more expensive than the other one. I don't remember the prices on the other ones, but this one is 476 copper ingots, 34 tin ingots, 160 iron ingots, 24 gold ingots, 12 uranium ingots, 7 rubber, 8 redstone dust, 2 glowstone, 2 lapis lazuli. I think those are just mainly for a part of building the reactor itself, and that as well. That's kind of like looking.
I think
at
that's the components minus the uranium costs.
Right.
Or minus the well, no, I guess it would be plus the uranium costs.
But yeah, that's the total cost for this, and you'll be able to see this through those links down in the description below. You'll be able to see what all is in there. It has a lot of really cool stuff like general information, additional information, which has cell types, like unused slots that you have in there, how many uranium slots. It's got a lot of really cool stuff, and it also gives you information for like breeder reactors as well, which I'm totally not touching those anytime soon.
No, especially not on a server because that's just
dangerous.
Not safe.
Well, lag happens and boom.
Yeah.
These next 3 over here.
These are
wait.
expensive.
These next 3 over here. That's going to be a good start off for this video. It's coming through at about 25 minutes now. So these next 3 we're going to have to cover, and we will also cover our last one over there on the back, which is really good. And that one is not ours. That last one, correct?
No, the last one is ours. The one that I found that had all those LSH and RHS stuff. So we don't want any of that.
Not taking anything away from
you
those.
You guys can stay away from those. You should. That is my.
Yeah. So for now, guys, we're going to go ahead and cut this video off. We are going to have the second part of this series so that you can show the 3-chamber, 4-chamber, 5-chamber, and 6-chamber. No. Yeah.
6-chamber.
3, 4, 5, and 6-chamber reactors, and those go up in the output as well. So, yeah. Any other words of wisdom on here, Steve?
Don't blow up your reactor on a server. Everyone will hate you.
Never fry bacon naked.
That too. Oh, God. Oh. Ow. Ow.
Both of them. So, yeah. Make sure you go join us next time, guys. We'll hit up these other ones. If you have a better reactor design, let us know. Send
it to us.
Yeah, send it through a video response, or send it through a message, a YouTube message, because I know you can't put links down below. But if you can put down underneath,
just put the reactor,
the number,
reactor setup using the
setup number. Basically, underneath where your components are, there's a long number, alphanumeric number, and you can copy that and you put that in there. And I'm pretty sure YouTube isn't going to say that's a web address because it doesn't have any .com or anything like that. So,
actually, a quick thing. So, here's an idea. The reactors that you guys send us aren't going to show up in the next video because we're going to do that pretty soon here, right after this one, and then we're going to put it up. So, but whichever you guys send to. Oh, that's some thunder. Scary thunder. The ones you guys send to us, we'll find the best ones and then we'll show them on here. So
yeah, and so yeah, the ones that you guys send to us, we'll check them out. We'll build them. Try to keep them, and that's what we're trying to keep these as, our Mark 1s.
Yeah, they have to be full cycle, no cooldown. If they're not, then they're not going to make it on here.
Yep. So that'll be the guidelines for it. That is your challenge. Use that link that we put down in the description below, and build a Mark 1. See how much power you can get out of it, and yeah, it's not, like I said, it's not going to be on the next video, but it'll be on. We'll be able to go through and get those highlights, and just leave those as comments. Leave your reactor code as your comment, and if we go through and pick yours, we'll put your name up on here and say whose we're doing and everything like that, and leave you a good good recommendation. So
good recommendation. YouTube, we definitely recommend this person here.
Well, it'll be recommending his channel, because if that's what he does on his channel, then yeah, it's a good recommendation.
True.
So yep. Chris, anything to say?
No, hopefully I'll try to get into the next video.
So we can see you in your suspenders.
So I can see what the hell you guys are talking about. It's so hard to visualize this stuff without being able to see it.
It's true.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, Steve, any other words of wisdom?
I've run out of words of wisdom.
That happens. And I got none. Really, it starts to rain right at the end of the video. Awesome.
That's perfect. Got it out right there.
Nope.
Bye, guys.
So yeah, until next time, guys, I'm DreamReaver23.
I'm Super Steve.
And I'll be 33.
Game happy, guys. See you later. Bye.
Later.
Episode. LRM is my homegirl, building up my whole world, running it with red power wire. And you gotta have space toad, cause you know the buildcraft makes me smile. And industrial craft, because my nuclear reactor gives the power to inspire. These blocks feel like Doc Brown, gonna make a time machine in game 1.21. We got the spawners that start dropping spiders and creepers and zombies as well, with their arms in the air and blazes. Cave spiders, skeletons, jockeys, and slimes, and magma cube silverfish. Yeah, the pigmen are nice unless you attack them, then they're coming at you like a swarm of bees. You're running like crazy just to get away from them, get through the portal and finally can breathe. All this for some glowstone dust. Now that I'm back, I see it's not.